Hi, my name is Roxana Chum, and today I will be talking about my internship experience, not just in my internship, but in the course as well. So let's begin. Today I will be talking about 4 major objectives. The objectives are my overall experience, like I said, not just in the internship, but in the course as well. The top goals that I feel I was aiming more towards, and I really wanted to gain more out of this internship experience. Some of the pros and cons as well in the course and in the internship itself. In some of my future plans, I believe it's really important for me to talk about how I saw this internship experience and how I wanted or how I want my future to look, or how I see my future now that I've had some hands-on experience. So first, I'm going to talk about the overall experience. In the facility, I actually entered admission physical therapy and sports medicine. I enjoyed it so much. I loved it. It was a very fun and open learning environment, and I enjoyed it so much. It was very open learning environment, and I feel like that was very important, and I was able to learn a lot from that because the physical therapists and the PTA were very open with their patients. They were very open with me as far as their patients. Obviously, they would ask their patients for permission if I could learn or know a little bit more about their personal health issues and exactly why they're there and what they're doing is helping them with. So I thought that was very, very enjoyable for me to see, and I was really grateful to see that they were very open with me and that they really let me get into it and really learn about these patients and know what was wrong with them and for them to explain what it was that they were doing with them and how it was going to help them in their near future. I was also able to get to know the PTs and the PTA in a professional and personal level. I thought that was very important for me because I wasn't just there, to do my hours and get out. I feel like the patients who go there, they're very fun, they're very enjoyable. They know that they have health issues. They know if they're going to get better or not. Even though, they're still trying, they're still putting their 100% effort into these exercises and the therapy overall. But they go there and they really want to talk to someone. They want to have fun with someone. They want to share laughs with someone. So it was very interesting to see that, like some of the physical therapists and the PTA, really shared very great moments with the patients, and I was actually able to get to know these patients in a personal level as well, and it was very, very nice to see, definitely. Also, the different teaching styles, I was really able to see and shadow all three of both of the physical therapists and the physical therapy assistants. So I was able to shadow all 3 of them and see, how they work, how they do things, how they explain things, how they have their patients do certain exercises or stretches. So it was very interesting to see how the physical therapists, how they both do their evaluations, how they evaluate these patients before they get them started on any physical therapy overall. And they do the same. They stick to the same concept. It's just a different teaching and learning methods that they use. It was really interesting to see that because there isn't only one method or only one way to teach or learn things, and I thought that was really interesting. As far as the internship course, I really enjoyed the interviews. I thought the interviews were not only nerve-breaking, but I thought they were very, very helpful. I really enjoyed how some of the questions that we were asked were questions that I wouldn't even think were to be asked in a panel when you're applying for when you're being interviewed for physical therapy, and I feel like that helped me as as a professional, and it helped me as a student, and it helped me in my future, because I was speaking to one of the physical therapists, and he actually told me that some of the questions that I was being asked were actually some of the questions that he got asked when he was in the panel. So I thought the interviews were a great idea and a great part of this internship course experience. Also, goal setting, we actually had to come up with a list of goals that we wanted to do as far as the internship experience, but there were some main ones that stood out to me and I really grasped onto, so I really thought it was very interesting and very helpful for us to, create these goals and see how we progress as the internship experience continues. And the evaluations, I thought the evaluations from the site supervisor were very helpful, because it allowed me to see how I started to how I ended, and it allowed me to see how I progressed as a student and how I progressed as a person and as a professional, and where my future is going to take me. For goals, there were top 3 goals that really stood out to me, which was observing and learning both the physical therapy and the office work aspect of the facility. I feel that as a physical therapist, it's not just your duty or your job to, perform physical therapy, help with physical therapy, help the patients get better, get well. But I noticed that it was very important for this physical therapy to also know a lot of the office work and everything that was going on around the facility. So I really wanted to, do both and learn about both and how to handle both. And I thought it was really interesting. Also, the ability to apply school and class knowledge to the real world. I thought it was really fun to see how I was able to apply some of the things that I actually learned in class and apply it to when I was at my internship, because a lot of the things, actually everything we learned in class, as far as some of the terminology, they actually use at the physical therapy facility, and I thought that was very, very eye-opening. Also, building network of contacts and stay connected. I think it's not just important for you to build contacts and, build that extra support that can help you in your future, but I think it's very important for you to stay connected with them and, not just contact them whenever you need them, but, always send an email here and there and, stay connected with them. And I really think that was really important. Some of the pros and cons as well. I'm going to talk about some of the pros as far as the facility, and then as far as the internship experience itself. Some of the pros is staying connected, as far as like the students staying connected with the site internship supervisor and the internship supervisor. So that's Stacy Hahn, who's the physical therapist, and then Dr. Dietz, who's the professor for this course. So I thought it was really nice to see that all 3 of us were staying connected within each other, and we're keeping each other up to date as far as what we were doing, what was being turned in, and how everything was being done. So I really enjoyed that. Gaining first-hand experience. Definitely, this is my first time interning at a physical therapy facility. So being able to gain that first-hand experience at a great facility such as Mission was very, 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 very appreciative. Also, the variety of tasks to complete. I noticed that in a physical therapy facility, there is always something to do. You don't always sit down. You don't just do nothing. But there is always something to do, and I was kept on my feet all the time, which I loved, because I absolutely hate just standing there or sitting down and doing nothing. So there was always something for me to do there. And it's also a great resume portfolio builder. Some of the cons I would have to say to learn more about the office work, such as like scheduling. So I did get to do some office work and got to see, what had to be done, but I would have really liked to learn a little bit more about that. Internship supervisor more available. I think that I know Dr. Dietz is a very busy person, but I would have really liked to see him have more open hours so we could speak more about it, or I could like turn in my stuff, because I know I always had to turn it in on Thursdays, because Mondays and Wednesdays when he's available I was actually at my internship. Also setting individual teaching and learning time between the intern and the internship supervisor. I know that the Stacy Han and we had like our one-on-one moments a few times, especially during my evaluations, but I would have really enjoyed, to for us to speak a little bit more about like if I did something wrong, what I was doing, how I can progress, and little things like that, which will eventually help me as a person and in the career that I want to go into. And my future plans. In my future plans, I am graduating in May. I plan to apply for a position at Mission Physical Therapy after graduation. I plan to stay connected with the contacts that I built at the facility, and as well as in school and outside of school. Also staying connected. Like I said, I think it's very important. So I'm planning to stay connected and stay in touch with the people that I build these contacts with. Use the connections as I work my way to applying to PT school. I know one of the physical therapists, he offered me so much help, and I feel like that's going to eventually help me when I work my way to applying to PT school. And that's the connection, or those are the type of connections that I want to keep using, in which will eventually, help me. Also, I do plan to take a semester to a year off, not just because I do have to study and take the test before I get into PT school, but also I need to finish taking up some prereqs, and that will allow me to gain a little bit more knowledge and hands-on experience, which I do want a lot more before I go into. And that is it. That's my internship experience. Thank you so much for watching.